Hello, Luc Bouchard, and this is today's Forgiveness Declaration, Card Draw, and Reduction Reading. Number 21. I forgive myself for believing that loss is possible. Okay, now the reduction. Here is a quote from the Course in Miracles that best illustrates this point. For there is but one mistake, the whole idea that loss is possible and could result in gain for anyone. If this were true, then God would be unfair, sin would be possible, attack would be justified, and vengeance fair. This one mistake in any form has one correction. There is no loss. To think that there is a mistake. You have no problems, though you think you have. as we get smacked around by Jesus on this one, right? Okay, so this reduction and this declaration. Well, the first thing I want to say is that I was about a year ago. I was going through the text, Course in Miracles text, of course, and the statement that really resonated with me that about loss is that you believe all your suffering comes from one idea, and that is you believe in loss, and that you think loss is possible. And if you could get past the fact that there is no loss, you wouldn't suffer. And that was one of the statements in ACIM that really brought clarity to so much. And when I work with people and they're going through grief and they're going through dealing with having a hard time forgiving, I will often talk about this idea that you believe you've lost something, because it's the thought that we lose something that causes us to suffer and to be in pain, because something's going to be removed from us, or something's going to be detached, not detached. Yeah, separated, something taken from us. I think you know what I mean, and I've lost the word I was trying to find. And if we could see past that, we would have a whole lot less suffering. Now, further to this particular quote from Course in Miracles, it would talk about the whole idea that loss is possible could result in gain for anyone. And that's really what our ego wants us, what the ego wants to tell us and wants us to hear is that somehow there's a limited set of resources. The pie is only so much, and if you give one piece of pie to someone, then there is less piece of pie for everyone else. And so that's why we engage in the behaviors we engage in, because we think that others can actually take something from us, or that they can harm us through their gain is our loss. And it's really not true, because there's only expansion in heaven. There's only it's unlimited. We are resourced, and we are at peace in heaven, and that could be our experience here if we don't subscribe to the belief that there is that things can be taken away from us. Which is kind of hard, because we live in a world of scarcity. We live in a world of there's only so much to go around. Okay, this image. Yeah, this is on a bridge that you think. Yeah, it was just surprising the amount of rust on this bridge, and you have this paint peeling away from the steel beams, and it really, I think this is one of the last images that I had to put last declarations that I had to put an image to. I was trying to think of how do I represent loss, and yeah, so this seemed to work with the separation and the paint coming off of the steel. I'm Luc Bouchard. Thanks so much for watching this video, and loss is only the concept that we have with the fear of scarcity that the ego would have us believe in. And if you believe you can suffer loss, then hand that over to the Holy Spirit and pray on it and ask to see it differently. God bless. Until the next declaration.